So now we will discuss all the points involved in menstrual cycle one by one. So day 1. On day 1, corpus luteum of previous cycle is completely regressed. Means it is broken down or it is changes into corpus luteum has been changed into corpus albicans or white body. Therefore, from day 1 to 5, level of estrogen and progesterone are very low because corpus luteum has regressed. FSH and LH are free from inhibition. They are free from inhibition because high level of progesterone and estrogen inhibits LH and FSH. Several follicles begin to develop in the ovary under the influence of FSH. See, when corpus luteum regresses, the level of progesterone and estrogen decreases. This decrease will in turn increase the level of FSH and LH. They will start increasing. Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone now will help other Graafian follicles to develop in the ovary. Other ovarian follicles to change into Graafian follicle. So several follicles begin to develop in the ovary under the influence of follicle stimulating hormone. This happens during day 1 to 5. Progesterone maintains endometrium lining. Because of low level of progesterone, endometrial lining slows off. It slows off and menstrual bleeding will occur. Means this endometrial lining will break and it will cause menstrual bleeding due to the decreased level of progesterone. On day 7, many follicles develop, but on day 7, one dominant follicle is selected. Many follicles will develop under the influence of follicle stimulating hormone, but on day 7, one follicle will be selected which will change into Graafian follicle. From day 7 to 12, estrogen level will increase. Estrogen level will increase from dominant follicle. This estrogen gives positive feedback to LH and LH level increases. This estrogen, the developing follicle will secrete high amount of estrogen and this estrogen will in turn increase the level of LH. Proliferation of uterine endometrium will occur. From day 7 to 12, the endometrium will develop. It will become thick and it will be richly supplied by blood vessel. Therefore, this phase is also called proliferative phase. By day 13, LH peak is achieved. LH level is highest from day 13 to 14. It stimulates primary oocyte to complete meiosis 1 and secondary oocyte to reach meiosis 2. So, on day 13, the increase in LH level will cause primary oocyte to complete its meiosis 1 to change into secondary oocyte. And at secondary oocyte stage, the egg is released from the ovary. Secondary oocyte enters into the meiosis 2. Many enzymes are formed in the follicle which rupture the wall of the follicle and ovary. On day 14, ovulation will occur due to LH surge. There is rupture of Graafian follicle and secondary oocyte is released from the ovary. Secondary oocyte reaches the fallopian tubes. Secondary oocyte will reach the fallopian tube and there, if fertilization occurs, then the corpus luteum will be maintained, and if fertilization will not occur, then corpus luteum will regress. So from day 15 to 25, there is formation of corpus luteum. Granulosa cells and theca cells convert into lutein cells under the effect of luteinizing hormone by storing lot of reserve food material and acquire a yellow color as well. Therefore, it is known as yellow body. After ovulation, granulosa and theca cells store lot of reserve food material and they will change into yellow body. Formation of corpus luteum is under the effect of luteinizing hormone. This corpus luteum is also formed under the effect of luteinizing hormone. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen both. Due to progesterone, the endometrium becomes secretory. Corpus luteum secretes high amount of progesterone which causes the endometrium to become secretory. It will start secreting watery mucus. Estrogen proliferates endometrium, and due to estrogen, the endometrium will become thick. Therefore, secretory endometrium develops. Progesterone and estrogen will inhibit LH, FSH and gonadotropin releasing hormone. Progesterone and estrogen are being secreted by corpus luteum. They will inhibit the formation of LH, FSH and gonadotropin releasing hormone, which is secreted by hypothalamus. So no new follicles in the ovary will develop. No new follicles from the ovary will develop from 15th to 25th day. Day 26 to 28. To maintain the corpus luteum, LH is required. To maintain the corpus luteum, LH is required. Now LH decreases. LH will decrease. So corpus luteum begins to regress because LH levels are now too low. By the end of day 28, corpus luteum is fully regressed. Progesterone and estrogen levels decrease and a new cycle begins. So children, note these 3 points. Before ovulation, the dominant ovarian hormone is estrogen. Before ovulation, the dominant ovarian hormone is estrogen. And after ovulation, the dominant ovarian hormone is progesterone. LH and FSH reach the peak level before ovulation and then decline. LH and FSH reach the peak level during ovulation and then they start declining. Menstrual cycle is normally of 28 days but can vary from 22 to 38 days in various human females. But luteal phase is always of 14 days. Luteal phase is always of 14 days. This you should keep in mind for calculating the luteal phase. Yeah, ovulatory day, to calculate the ovulatory day. If the female has menstrual cycle of 38 days, then find out the day of ovulation. So 38 days is the period of menstrual cycle. You have to calculate the day of ovulation. So luteal phase is always of 14 days. So 38 minus 14 is equal to 24th day is the day of ovulation. Menstrual phase varies from 3 to 5 days. Proliferative phase varies from 7 to 11 days. But luteal phase or secretory phase is always of 14 days.